So flounder season is going to be here September 1st here in North Carolina, and it's going to be for 2 weeks. And I wanted to make a video just to share what the season has been over the years here in North Carolina, and why it's such a big deal that we're even having a flounder season this year. So what I did is I looked up online to see how the season has changed over the last couple of decades, and it's kind of interesting. And you might be surprised, maybe you already might know, but I didn't know, even though I fish it pretty regularly. So I made some notes here, just so I wouldn't make a mistake, and kind of going in like chronological order here. So again, flounder season here this year is 2 weeks, beginning September 1st through the 14th. And you can keep one flounder a day with a minimum of 15 inches. That is the limit for the 2025 flounder season here. I'm also going to try to do this here while actually fishing here, so if I get distracted because I get a fish on, don't hold me. Alright, so before 2006, there was no bag limit for flounder. The only requirement was the flounder had to be 13 inches, and that was from 1993 through 2001, which is pretty crazy because, again, the states that were between South Carolina and Virginia, I believe there is a limit, but you can fish flounder all year long, no restriction on when you can catch them. And then in 2006, the size limit changed to 14 inches minimum, and then they had a limit of 8 flounders that you can keep. Now, in 2013, they increased the size limit to a minimum of 15 inches, and then decreased the limit that you can keep per person to 6. And then in 2017, that's when they restricted it to 2 weeks, beginning September 1st through the 14th, just like this year, with a limit of 1, with a minimum of 15 inches. And then they did the same in 2018. And then I guess based on what was reported from the previous year, they saw that there was either going to be some kind of shortage due to commercial and recreational fishermen, which that is something that people always go back and forth, but that's not what this is about. I'm just talking about the actual flounder seasons here in North Carolina. And 2019, they actually closed the season on September 4th, and you could not harvest. Basically, for the year 2019, there was no flounder season because they already had restricted it to September the previous year. So from after the 14th of September of 2018, flounder season was closed throughout 2019. And then miraculously, 2020, the season was from August 16th through September 30th. So again, we weren't restricted to the 2 weeks like it's been over the last few years. Oh, got a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. All right, anyways. All right, that was 2020, and then fast forward to 2021. We're back on the 2 week at the beginning of September, which was September 1st through the 14th again. And then 2022, we actually had the entire month of September to catch flounder. Again, there's no rhyme or reason why the season changed. But September seems to be the month that in North Carolina we can fish for flounder primarily, as of lately. And then 2023, we had 2 weeks again, but this time it was the second half of September, which was the 15th through the 29th. And then 2024, they had closed the actual season, but then after pushback, I don't know what was the reason for it, but they decided to give us 4 days of flounder fishing in North Carolina. But there was a catch. You can only fish for flounder in joint and inland waters. So where I primarily fish is considered coastal water. So even if I'm in the river, that's still considered coastal unless I go all the way up through the river heading, I guess it would be north, up the Cape Fear River to eventually get into what's considered joint inland waters, which is pretty much downtown Wilmington, if you're familiar with the area. And so that was a joke because, again, it ended up being for 4 days, and those 4 days was September 1st and 2nd, which this happened to be on the weekend, so they do it on Labor Day. And then the 7th and 8th of September. So 4 days for the very restricted, limited flounder fishing that you could do. And so for 2024, didn't have the opportunity. I mean, I probably could have if I wanted to, but I feel like when they do that, it puts a lot more stress on the fishing because, again, you're limited to a very specific area where you're probably gonna have a lot of people trying to fish from. Here in 2025, we actually will have a season for 2 weeks, starting next week. Better believe it, I will be on the water. And again, what's crazy, the flounder bite has been pretty good between, live bait with menhaden, finger mullet, even cut shrimp has worked. I've caught some undersized ones, as well as I think the biggest I've caught this year within the last month has been a 24-inch coming in just over 6 pounds. And I caught a 22-inch, which was it was pushing almost 5 pounds. So hopefully they're sticking around, and I didn't use all my luck with the start of the season. But again, get to keep one. The minimum's 15 inches. We have 2 weeks, and then once those 2 weeks are over, we're back to our regular scheduled program of catch and release with our flounders here. At some point, I guess if I get desperate and want flounder that bad, I can always head to South Carolina, which is not that far. For now, I'm going to appreciate the 2 weeks that we do get here, and hopefully catch my min limit each day so I can get my fix on flounder this season. I thought it was interesting. I wanted to share that. I'm trying to do more videos like this here where if I find something interesting or just want something to share with you, I'm gonna make a video about it, so expect more of this. If you like the video, please make sure you like, please share, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys the next time I'm on the water. But here's to catch some flounders for this upcoming season. Peace.